How you doing today? This is Pops, back on the family farm, continuing our story. This right here is Gizmo, and he is 17 years old, and he's just checking things out. Yeah, okay. Well, if you remember, if you've tuned in and watched any of the family story, the story is about an old mule named Joe and a young horse named Favor. Used to be named Knothead. And he just got experience to being hooked up with old Joe with a yoke. He had a bit put in his mouth, and he had to be hooked up to a mowing machine that went out into the field and cut the hay. Well, he was going along and he had blinders on his eyes, and that was to keep him focused with the job ahead. The bit in his mouth was to guide and lead him. Now, these are biblical principles, but my purpose in telling you this story is that you see this for yourself. But anyway, we pick up with a story about lunchtime. Lunchtime came, and the master took us to the creek for a drink of cool, clear water. Maybe I can make a break, but old Joe won't go anywhere. Why am I so hooked up with him? Why are you so nervous, Favor? Joe asked. My name is Knothead, I snorted. You will realize that the master knows what you need, starting with calling you what he wants you to become. Before we went back to work, Farmer Brown put a feed bag over my mouth with some oats to top off the lush grass I'd eaten. The oats tasted pretty good. Then I burp, and I'm ready to go. He does take good care of us, I thought. Wonder if he is always like this. We finished cutting the field, and Farmer Brown said, "Good job, boys. Let's go to the barn." Well, back at the barn, Joe and I noticed that another stall was being cleaned out by Jimmy, who lived next door to Mr. Brown's farm. Jimmy, when you get through cleaning out that stall, will you give Joe and Favor fresh water, hay, and a scoop of corn for supper? Farmer Brown asked him very politely. Sure will, Jimmy replied, and then asked, when are you getting the new milk cow? They said she would be here before sundown, Mr. Brown said, as he looked at his watch. What are you going to call her? Jimmy inquired. Gracie. Farmer Brown smiled a bit, as though he knew something about that name. You sure do have a way of coming up with these names for your animals, spouted Jimmy. I believe in calling or speaking the desired attributes into existence. Just like I sow wheat in the wheat field, I sow the best seed and expect the best crop. Let me try to show you what I'm talking about. Do you remember the last milk cow we got? Do you mean fruitful? Jimmy said, yes, that's right. She was always kicking anytime we tried to milk her. Now Fruitful gives an abundance of milk every time because she is loved and well cared for. And I might add, very fruitful if you know what I mean. Oh, look, here comes, what did you call that new cow? Her tag says Bossy, but her name is Gracie. Oh, wow. This is going to be interesting, Jimmy laughed. That name just doesn't seem to fit. We'll see what tomorrow brings as Farmer Brown closed the gate to the stall to Gracie's new home. Welcome, Gracie, and good night to all my chosen family. And thanks, Jimmy. Be sure to keep up with the time so Miss Brown can pay you Saturday. Good night. Thanks, Mr. Brown. I'll see you Saturday to help you get in the hay in. Okay, Jimmy. It should be dry enough to rake and put in the barn Saturday. Just before dawn the next day, Favored whispered, Joe, are you awake? Yep, Joe said in a grumpy voice. Bossy. Gracie bellowed all night, griping about her accommodations. What does accommodations mean? Her stall. Oh, I didn't know you were so educated. I snorted. And why does Farmer Brown have 2 milk cows? Well, Fruitful is pregnant. And it will be some time after she gives birth to her calf before humans can use the milk for themselves. There's something in the milk that the newborns need. God sure knows how to take care of his creatures, Joe declared. God? Are you talking about Farmer Brown? No, Favor. Don't you know anything? Wait till Sunday when you take the Browns to church. And if you watch and listen, maybe you will understand some of God's handiwork. In the meantime, take a good look around at the birds. Farmer Brown is always talking about, since God takes care of the sparrow, that he knows how to take care of his family. This sounds hard. You mean complicated? Favor just shook his head and muttered, whatever. Joe said, shh. Here comes Farmer Brown. Good morning, Joe. Favor, Fruitful. How was the first night, young lady, Gracie? Moo, bellowed Gracie. Favor whispered to Joe. Does Brown know about her attitude? First of all, that's Mr. Brown to you. And yes, he knows about her attitude and your attitude as well. What's wrong with my attitude? Favor exclaimed by kicking the stall. You'll see. What's wrong with you? Farmer Brown expressed with a raised voice. Are you all right? Here's your breakfast. You're going to need your strength today, Favor. We are breaking some ground today. What did he mean by favor? Asked Joe shyly. Joe ignored Favor and watched Farmer Brown work with Gracie. This is going to be interesting, Joe said to himself. That's all for today. See you tomorrow.
Day in, day out, it's the same road we're walking down. Same job, same town, 'cause we've been told that's the way our world goes round. Walking on the grounds we've always known, stepping on the footprints in the snow. But when it melts, the other ways will show. We're gonna